Hello everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise. I hope you guys are doing really well. Best we can during these times. So anyway, I'm going to look into Flumps February. See what's possibly coming down the line for him this month. So anyway, let me drop the camera down and we'll take a look. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot by Lo Scarabeo. And hold on, I just need to allow for reversals here. So hold on. Flumps February. Flumps February. February 2022. Okay. Okay, let me do that one more time. Right there. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is the forces in motion, his greatest challenges, and then I'm going to do 4 cards here for his actions, what he's going to be doing. And then I'm going to do 3 cards for what's hanging over him, what's his current karma that we can expect, at least in this month. And then 4 cards for his future. Just in case, you know, I don't do it in March, in case I don't keep doing readings on him. And then I'm also going to use, the maybe Lenormand and the Kipper. So I want to see what's coming towards him, and then legally, Kipper will bring in the legal situation. Well, Tarot will as well, and the Lenormand. It will be very situational, but Kipper's more relational, relationship oriented, and not everybody likes Lenormand or Kipper, so that's why I'm doing the Tarot. All right, Mr. Flumps, February 2022. Okay. All right. Forces in motion, greatest challenges, 2 columns of what he will be doing. Three cards for the current karma hanging over him that we might get to see this month. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 cards for his future. And I feel like they're all over here on this side, but of course I'm going to take the 2 off the bottom as well. Okay, and then the 2 off the bottom. Let's set over here. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, so he's feeling strong. His greatest challenge is the Hanged Man. He has the Queen of Cups and struggle. Ace of Pentacles. So these are his actions. These are his actions. Whether he's planning or whatever he has planned, I don't know. But, you know, plans and actions are 2 different things, right? He can plan all he wants, but I want to see what he's doing. Okay. karma hanging over him. Okay. Sheesh. And then his future. Okay, I guess I did have plenty of room over here. Hold on. Just so that well, let's keep our categories separate here, but just so that this one side's not cut off. Okay, so with the strength card, well, you know, it's Flump. It's no one else. So, you know, we could say that what he has going on in his life is that he's doing his best to just stay strong. I couldn't say that it's a bad health month for him, especially with the sun up here either. But with this Hanged Man in the challenge position, well, now this brings in a whole nother story, because, you know, you would read it in the negative as if it's, you know, as if it's reversed. So that brings in, you know, humiliation. It brings in, you know, it's his normal selfishness and the place where he's just very stagnant on a soul level, and he's not looking at things from a different angle. But his greatest, so it doesn't matter how strong a person is, when their greatest challenges are that they that they are going to be humiliated in the future, and and maybe it'll be a situation where he's out, you know, at a rally, he's doing whatever he does, you know, as that bloviating bag of hot air that he is. And then here we, you know, have some humiliation come in. So his greatest challenge is humiliation, as well as either, well, it's of course the place where he's been extremely deceptive. And he's, you know, he's a liar. That's who he is. He's a pathological liar. So he's been deceiving, and he may receive some deception coming right back at him with this card. That's very possible, which could be very, you know, humiliating to him, because it's like, dude, you know, you got burned, right? There's that possibility. Okay, and then moving a little further along, but these two cards are really important. They do pretty much, you know, set the tone for this would be, you know, the major situation for the whole month. But moving forward, it looks like he's going to be trying to manipulate his family. There's going to be battles and struggles. I'm sure he has a really hard time keeping his heart, you know, in the game with his family, because everyone to him is just a, you know, a pawn on his chessboard. So, yeah. Now, maybe the Queen of Cups to him is Melania, although she's a Taurus, so this doesn't really make sense to me. But maybe this is very possible that this is Ivanka, because she's a Scorpio. And this card could be Cancer or Scorpio or even Pisces. So I think he's going to be working Ivanka to try to get what he wants. And then the other actions with this Ace of Pentacles reversed, he's going to be going into debt. He's going to be completely you know, missing opportunities where, you know, his plans in the past are going to be seen as being they're pretty poor, you know. And he's going to be doing things that are, you know, not a good investment. Like, it's not going to pan out, right? Because it's held down. And then with this Seven of Wands reversed, he's not going to be able to hold up, this wall, this line of defense. It's going to be really challenging for him, and I think that he's going to feel like he's out of control, and he doesn't have his normal sense of self-confidence, although, he thinks he's strong here, and maybe he does have the strength of support with his, his followers and all that. But his actions, see, this is the thing. I've spoken to this before where, what psychopaths do, how they hang themselves. You give them enough rope and they hang themselves. And he's always been self-employed. So he's going to get his lessons. He won't get his lessons from a boss. He'll get his lessons from his own stupid, foolish, mistakes. And but he doesn't stand a chance in the future. This is because these are the actions where he's just gonna like sink himself. On another level, these two cards bring in the feeling to me that he's just gonna waste his time and spin his wheels, right? It's just things are. All the stakes that he had planted in the ground they're gone. They're gone, and he's going to be falling on his head, in some way, metaphorically only, I would think. Let's see, with the sun, now, there's a few different ways this could be taken. It could be revealed, because this is the karma hanging over him. It could be revealed, something from the past could be revealed as to maybe parties that he's been, or people he's been celebrating with. This could be 3 other people in his close, strength past. But man, we're talking, now, it's possible, there's a couple different ways I'm seeing this actually. Definitely I feel the sun is revealing. It could be revealing the way he parties. It could be revealing 3 other people who helped him with the insurrection immensely, which, those things are already out, but it will be seen in the public eye. We're all going to see it. And that may be what is the humiliating factor here. Because these people could be, his 3 bitches, like Roger Stone, Steve Bannon, and Alex Jones, right? Or this could be a whole circle of those people that helped to fund him, like the Publix heiress, like Jenny Thomas's, what's his name? Clarence Thomas's wife, Jenny Thomas, right? Because all that's there. If you want to look at in my library, just search for Clarence Thomas's karma, and Jenny came in there, so I had to read that too. That was a long time ago. I think it was over a year ago. Anyway, with the 6 of Cups reversed, this is a terrible, terrible card for something hanging over you, because it brings in the past, and it brings in his inability to think clearly. It's also a card of memory, loss, because this is a Sun in Scorpio card normally. And Scorpios are good with, memory. Cancers and Scorpios actually are usually pretty good with their memories. Now, in this reversal, it's a memory loss. It would be a memory loss. So I think that that's part of the humiliation here, because remember, like, these cards are really hanging over this major situation. So the only plans he's got going on is having his hand out to people, his normal, could be partly grifting, but then again, because, that's what he always does, and he's never going to stop that till he's 6 feet under. That's just not going to happen. I mean, I don't think. It would be a miracle to see somebody like him turn their life around at, what is he, pushing 75 now? I've never seen it. you know, you can have your Uranus return at 84, but then it just, if you've been as dark as a guy like this, it just helps you wake up and go, oh crap, right? So I see this more as him trying to manipulate and struggle with his family and not getting anywhere and not seeing clearly. And maybe even it's possible that he accesses some of his childhood trauma, because this is my childhood trauma card when it's reversed. And, you know, he had a lot. He did have a lot. And it's not to let him off the hook, but I just have to name it because the card is here. What else could this be? Could be just where he's, you know, stuck in the past, which creates that memory loss, right? If we can be present, then we have pretty good memory, but he's always been stuck in the past. Sometimes this card brings in like leaving your comfortable home. So I don't know if the assets are going to be seized in February, but of course that they will eventually. I've gotten that many times. Yeah, okay, so then his future. We might see this by the end of the month, we might not. Not sleeping well, having a really hard time, again, maybe headaches, maybe he is having health problems, because maybe there's a little drug use going on here, and maybe he is drinking, right? Even though he's always said he doesn't drink, but that's a lie, because an addict is an addict, and if one thing doesn't work, you move to the next, and alcohol can get it in you pretty quick. The question is, can he remember what pills he already took? So this can create, he could have, you know, migraines, major regrets, sleepless nights. The Nine of Swords is a card of failure and depression and trauma. You know, it's your nightmare card. And fears, major fears. But on the political level, as far as effectiveness goes, this is my failure card. So he's going to be failing what? He's going to be failing to create any ability for himself to just sit on the throne anymore. But he's still going to keep his hand out. He's still going to be grifting. He's still going to be asking for money. I don't think this is him giving out the money. And with the Wheel of Fortune reversed, well, that's not good, right? I mean, you can just imagine. This is a card of delays. When it's reversed, is a place where we're just like stuck, you know, stuck, and you know, I mean, it doesn't look like good fortune to me, do you think? When it's upside down, I think it's the opposite. I think it's bad fortune. So he's, you know, he's got some setbacks going on here, and he's stuck in it. Let's see what was on the bottom. Whoa! You know what? I don't know how because I pulled them off and then I just went like that. So I can't say whether or not they're reversed or straight up. To get the Devil reversed is actually the best way to get it, because it's like being released from constraints. But if they came up this way, I should have paid more attention to that, you guys, sorry. But I'll read it both ways and we'll see how it goes. So, straight up, of course, the Devil is just, you know, greed, control, addictions, being stuck, Putin's puppet. This could be Putin here, and this is Trump and whatever. And then with the Chariot, you know, this is our Cancer card. It has to do with the family and moving forward. But it's really just a card of willpower and however you use it. Now, if it were reversed, like let's say, just reading these two reversed, we could say, with the Chariot reversed, he's not going anywhere, and his will is even kind of broken. But with the Devil, it could be that that might be what needs to happen on a soul level with the Devil reversed, so that he could be released a little bit from Because that's what needs to happen with a soul like his, who's a born psychopath. Bottom line is, whether they get the lesson in this lifetime or not, you just have to remember that they're meant to face the betrayal that they have, because deep, deep, deep in their core, overlaying their spirit is a soul that has been betrayed and has been betraying others throughout cycles and cycles and cycles, of lifetimes and incarnations. So at some point, they have to, like imagine, if he was Caligula, or he was Mussolini, or he was whoever he was in his past lives. It could have been both, right? Because Caligula was way back. They're betrayed in the end, right? So at some point, and in that betrayal, there's that humiliation. At some point, it has to come back around. So that's probably, no, I'm going to say for sure, I know that's exactly what will happen at some point. I just can't always know when, right? Okay, so let's use the Lenormand. I'm not sure how many cards I can, hold on. Oh, I bet you anything I can do 9. Let's do 3 times 9, and I'll be able to get 3 by 3s in here. I'll get 3 of the box spreads. We'll get a really good take on his month. So I just want to see what he'll be experiencing. Now that with the tarot we have, we've figured out that he's not going to be very effective, even though he's still has that strength card going on there. Hold on, I need to raise my chair up a little. Sometimes you know how they sink down and all of a sudden you're like, wait, where am I? Okay. Flumps, February. What will he be experiencing this month? February 2022. Bear with me while I draw 28 cards. Or no, 27, what am I saying? 3 times 9. Third. Flumps, February. Okay. And we'll get this timestamp for you. I think that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think that's 20. Let me check. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. 3, 7 more. 1, 2. Okay. Bear with me while I get them laid out. Whoa! That doesn't look like fun. Broken mirror. Okay, so broken mirror, bear, storks, ship, dueling card, hearth, 8 and 9. Is that 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the middle there. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. Just double checking. It's tricky going through the viewfinder sometimes with these cards. Or any cards. Okay. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. So we have safe. So heart, anchor, rose, safe, coffin, The pig, it's the prosperity card, but it can be major overindulgence. Little tower, the dog, birds, revelry, merriment, whatever, ring, child, oops, crossroads, pathway, house, Cupid, watching, him. Oh, okay, here we go. So in my last live stream with Lisa and Debbie, I can't remember if Debbie was there with us then because she had to come in late because she had her class she was teaching. But somebody brought in the question of, I think it was Tina. Hi, Tina, if you're watching. Whether or not it was you that brought in the question, but they wanted to know if the Secret Service, if any of his Secret Service detail was spying on him, in kind of like the negative sense. And we got yes, definitely. Not all of them, but just some. And here it is, right here. Here it is. Watching him, and here's the little spy. This is the spy card. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than that. And under the burden, because he's guilty. They're especially watching him while he travels and goes to do his rallies. This would be this traveling across the land. Wow. Which, can't be easy on someone. All that traveling around when you're older and on the road and doing all this, it's just, anyway. Okay, so here we have our three, and it's a little mini grand tableau, three by three here, here, and here. So I'm going to read the first few cards. Actually, I'm going to go with that. I may do this whole first 5 cards. Usually I just start with the first few, but there's something going on here. So with the broken mirror, this is our card of a fractured reality, like something that you thought was solid in the past is now suddenly, oh no, right? It's a broken pattern. If you're reading for yourself and you're working to break a negative pattern, this could actually be a good card, but not for him, because he's not trying to do anything like that. So this comes from the outside, because when you work on your unconsciousness, you control what comes from the outside from you, and you don't have to get the hard lessons on the outside, right? When you do your own soul work, you're already working, and things occur to you on the inner levels, and then you can make changes. He doesn't work that way, so things have to come to the outside, from the outside to him, and so we're talking crisis. So crisis, financially, the bear is all about money, power, and protection, brings in changes. This may have him wondering, can he get away to these foreign lands that his family have been trying to, because in every month it comes through, that's what they want to do, all of them. How do we find exit plan, exit stage left if things fall apart, when the shit hits the fan? And here's the challenge. But this 9 box here has January 6th committee all over it, right here. But he's looking to how he can get away when the shit hits the fan about that. Now, next I'll read the 4 corners. Okay, so something new, something small, or it could just be his immaturity is what is broken open and causing the financial problems, right? I feel like that's what it is. And then with the rose, he is going to experience seduction. Somebody's going to try to pull the wool over his eyes, and that confirms, remember when we had with the tarot down here, we had the Hanged Man reversed. So here it is further reiterated, a seductive relationship, it'd be like being dumb enough to go to Russia, stay in a hotel where there's cameras and everything hidden, and then, but I don't know. I think he's been working undercover for Putin for years anyway. But Putin's got the goods on him, and we've got major guilt here. seductive relationships that are very guilty. And our cross card is our karma. It's our cross to bear. Well, the tree didn't come through, but the tree can be a karmic card as well. But this is my card of guilt and going through pain. It's the burden of pain, and it's a grief card. And your cross to bear is to, take self-responsibility for what you've done in your life and try to make changes. Well, he doesn't do that. So this, I feel like, has to do with relationships. So, but we'll look closer into that as we go. Okay, so he didn't come through as the man card, so there's no direction to go there. But he has come through here, because of it's the 45 card, and it's a card that would always come down. It knights up here to the revelry merriment card, and in all the daily readings I did on him for a good year or so, this card taught me that it meant super spreader events, and we have the travel card here to reiterate that. So yeah. So actually, I might as well just go ahead and read this box here because I'm already here. So super spreader events where he's out there talking, but it's stressful to him. It's stressful on his heart, and his heart is sunk in a way that he can't get out from under, because the anchor is knighting down here to the burden card. So he's under the burden of a heart that's not working. It's in the negative sense with the anchor, it is something that you're deeply stuck in. Deeply, deeply stuck in. So yeah. And so he's stuck because he has some Secret Service agents that are spying on him that are not on his side. He may have a few that are on his side like he did in the past, but he has some that are not. And they are definitely watching him. So stuck with being spied on, stuck with the things he's done in the past because he's been such a fraud, stuck being backstabbed at some point, stuck under his, his con, stuck because of the way he's been such a manipulator in the past. So it's coming back to him. It's coming back to him, man. And it might be that it comes back to him while he's on the road traveling to these super spreader events where he's just going to do his bloviating bag of hot air and just he's going to keep doing it around and around and around. Nothing's going to change with what he's going to do. And he will be experiencing often, well, not often, always. When I do a grand tableau, and remember this is a mini grand tableau, but when I do a grand tableau, this last card here turns into my answer card. So here's the answer. By the end of this month or soon after, he is going to be so burdened by relationships who have been seductive, and of course, he's stuck, right? He's stuck with this burden of this guilt in the past. This is a guilty card. The burden of guilt. And people are going to flip on him. That's what I'm seeing there. Okay, so maybe I'll just go backwards. Let's go here. So this would be the January 6th committee. This would be the institution of our government. The Tower card is very different in the Lenormand. So this could have him feeling kind of lonely, except for his immediate friends, but he's being spied on. This does have a little bit of protection, but it's not trustworthy. Like these focus cards around the little tower. Dude, it's not good. So this is the boundaries of our institution, of our government. And they are coming in a way that they are isolating. They're working their way up to the top. They are working their way up the food chain. So it will be revealed This is hanging over. So this literally is the insurrection, okay? It's going to be seen that it's possible that there was foreign money that came in to nurture, to flame, fan the flames, right? And on another level, this could be him that it could be revealing that it was him, because remember, this whole spread is his experience. So he will be experiencing movement because things will be revealed, and it could be that this is shows that he actually had this planned, because think of all the planning that goes into something before you put your ship in the water, or before your ship sails out of the port, like imagine that, right? Just think in those terms. Got to think bigger. For us, this could just be a travel card, but for him, we think of all the things that he's done in the past. Well, the cards are right here. They're showing that he started a war. It's going to reveal that. This would be the January 6th committee with their burden of proof that comes down on him and his loyal peeps that helped him. And all of this stuff down here, he has no control over any of this. I don't know that he has control over anything here, because I was just asking for his experience, not for what he can do. And then, let's see, so with Cupid here, this has been my, vaccine card as well. But it could just be on the traditional meanings of this card is just something small, something short term, like a crush kind of a thing. And because it knights up here to the dog, I would say this is a short-term friendship that he had. Could have been some foreign person, or it could have been, let's say, Rudy Giuliani, who did all those foreign travels for him. The whole, Zelensky scandal, the whole, the thing that he got impeached for the first time. Remember, he got impeached twice. The second time was for the insurrection. And, yeah, fanning those flames, too. So I'm thinking here, because I didn't set the intention for this to be like past, present, and future, although this is definitely the burden of proof there. I feel like all this is hanging over him. This is all the comeuppance for what he's done. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to get out of that box spread because I'm not seeing anything other than what I've already said. So there's no need to repeat it in another way just because I'm going at a different angle. That's a waste of time. Okay, next, let's go over here. So there's a painful ending, a painful loss of his money, power, and protection. There are changes. Yeah, right, yeah, okay. Something shocking, something broken open. That's a painful loss. The money's falling out. It's not going towards him. This could be this could be money that was spent. It will be revealed, and that will bring in all these other people. The proof, right? Like Alex Jones's $500,000, the paper trail, the money trail. Absolutely. And it doesn't matter if they, went before the January 6th committee after they were subpoenaed and they didn't, whether or not they would respond or whether they said no comment. Alex Jones said he did it at least 100 times. If they pled the fifth, it doesn't matter because there's this system in place where they have telecom records. They have all the records they need. They have the text. They don't bring you in until usually. I mean, maybe Usually, they do not bring a person in unless they already have the proof. And they're just bringing you in to see if you're going to lie about it. Of course he will lie about it if he were brought in. Of course, many other people couldn't lie about it, so they said no comment because it would be self-incriminating, of course. So here's his painful ending. And it's even, if I just go along with like this line, here we have the revealing testimony to the January 6th committee that, will sink him because the dog knights up here to the anchor. Yeah, little bits. Okay, so I feel like this is really important right here. At least on the level of his financial situation, he will be experiencing a major painful loss of funds, a major painful loss of power, painful changes, the ending of his wealth, and he's thinking about his luxury, the ending of his real estate holdings, the painful ending of his lack of choices, lack of escape plans, and the painful ending to a new start in his life. Because I don't think he's going to be getting away, because look what knight's up here to the ship, if I'm reading it on the level of him trying to get away. Maybe this is the end of some little short-term plan that he had, because it knight's up here to the dueling card and the changes. Yeah, nah. And then with this row, if this were a escape plan, we can bet that it's being watched by the Secret Service, his Secret Service detail, and the rest of the intelligence community, whether it's counterintelligence and whichever angle it's coming from. Yeah. And it would have to do with his real estate. It would affect his real estate. It would affect his entire family as well. That's what this is. So, okay. I feel done with that. That feels complete. Next, let's do the Kipper real quick. And here I'll go ahead and do 3 rows of 7. So I'm sure I can fit that. We'll get a really good picture. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, that makes sense. Whoa. Okay. Boy, it'd be great if we see these things this month. Okay. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, I think that oh my goodness. I think the January 6th committee is, oh my goodness. Oh, and there's Melania. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I think I'll have to push them up quite a ways. Might have to block out the number. Yeah. Maybe this way. Okay. There we go. Bear with me. Don't worry, either I or Hilda will get this time stamped as to when the reading actually starts. I'm trying to not cover up too many things. Let's say, oh, that works. Okay. Jeez, I'm wondering if Melania gets subpoenaed. This is a subpoena card here. Right? Like, was she there when he was doing his thing in the... Oh, I'm thinking of Stephanie Grisham's testimony. And I can't remember what they called the East Wing. Is it the East Wing where their residence is? I don't know where the presidential residence is. Do they call that the East Wing? Don't want to cover up that word. Okay. I'm going to dive into the middle here first. I'm drawn to this coffin. Again, it's the same as in the Lenormand, so let's read it around. So the end of his ability to work, his ability to be effective, it's a painful ending that he's like watching out for. He's expecting it. This is the expectation card. It's also, this is my investigation card. This is being surveilled, right? This would be like the Secret Service detail that's on him. And with this card, it's like you're watching, but you can't do anything about it. You can't do a darn thing about it. It's like, imagine the old days, somebody waiting to get a message, and they have no control over how fast it comes. Yeah. So it could take much further than this month, right? But there's a painful ending, and he's expecting it to come, and but there's nothing he could do about it. And this is a painful ending to him being able to escape and run off to that place that he longs to go, right? Because this is the card of hope and longing, like deep longing. It's also a card of alcoholism and drug addiction too, if it's stressed. And the way you see if it's stressed is you look at all the cards around it. Do these cards look very good to you? We've got the January 6th committee here. That's my standing card for that. We have bad health. We have the fatality card, So in this deck it's a coffin, but it's generally called fatality. And then we have bad health up here, right? Look at that. And poverty. I don't know if he'll ever be that broke, but it's definitely this card brings in negativity to this card here. This is the worst card in the entire deck, besides the imprisonment card, but notice I don't have that here this month. And the imprisonment card can just be restrictions. So anyway, his hopes, dreams, wishes are flushing down the toilet, as well as his marriage and any of his tight bonds, partnerships that he had. This could very well be Don Jr. or Eric, because we're talking the tight bonds. He's definitely still in despair. This is a divorce card if you just read this line, and this is definitely Melania and no one else, because that's how the system works. The main man would have been him, and the main female is the person's love partner, although they don't really have love. Okay, so There's also a painful ending to some new start where he thought some money could come in from some foreign lands, but it's not. That won't be happening. There's a painful ending to his real estate holdings, and what did we just have in the Lenormand spread? Remember we had the house down here again, and we had the coffin over here, so it's coming through again. So here's a confirmation. Yeah, no good. And this is in the center, the core of the spread here. So, but opening up, we've got the courthouse. This card, the adjudication card, the difference between these two cards is that the adjudication card, this could be like going before the IRS. It could be going before any type of an investigation, committee, any type of well, it could be like any type of an advisor, but it's usually a judge. It's somebody who's examining documents. You can see it right here, and he's looking to, asking questions. This could be a man or a woman, doesn't matter, but he's looking at the records here. Like, imagine reading all the communications. To me, this is the January 6th committee that has, and it's further reiterated down here, but they have all the communications, like I was saying before. Nobody's getting away with anything. And they're looking at them and then saying, okay, well, we have this. What do you say about that? And they're going to see if these people lie, right? And then this decree is going to come down with the courthouse card, the court card. This is they're making discoveries, but they have the goods, they have the documents, and it's going to be like handed down. This is the card of pressing charges. So I don't know if it's going to happen this month, but it's definitely coming. It's coming. And you know that the January 6th committee has been working their way up the food chain, and they are narrowing in. So, but the way it would go is once they make, this could be, well, I don't know. This could be the Department of Justice, and this could be the January 6th committee. We've got the committee down here. But the way it's going to go when the J6 committee is done is they will give all of their recommendations, their findings, their documents, their everything over to the Department of Justice, and then Merrick Garland will do what he does with it. So, but anyway, with Flump, there's some charges being pressed. They have the documents, and they've been working on it, and they have everything that he's been working on, and he's not going to feel good about it. He's not going to feel good about it at all. And it's going to bring in change that I don't think he likes because of these cards here. I would love to see him making license plates somewhere, but it's going to show, this change is going to show how much work and how much planning and how many little details of documents they have because they've been working really, really hard. This investigation into everyone who worked to support the insurrection is going to be discovered by the January 6th committee, and they are going to be very successful about it. This Great Fortune card has to do with, receiving something that you've worked hard for. Now, what he's going to receive is what he worked hard for, which was to try and stay in the White House. Right? But for him, there's changes to his fortune from the past that he earned. It's more like ill-gotten gains, I would say, with this card, with him, and his real estate holdings. The end of his real estate holdings, assets being seized. But this is probably on another level based on his bank fraud and insurance fraud that he worked a long time ago. These would be the documents. So this can be read on the January 6th level. This can be read on the bank fraud, insurance fraud, and tax fraud level. Everything's there. The documents are there. They've had them, and they've been working on them for a long time. The tax fraud and bank fraud and insurance fraud, they've had those for a long time. A good year and a half now. And there has been everything he sent to the Supreme Court to try and keep out of the public record was kicked back, so they didn't do what he wanted. They didn't do what he wanted there. But let's see, with the four corners here, there's changes that he's not going to like. This could be, this is our card for a job change, moving house, people coming and going from places. So all those details, because look what knights to this card and to his house, and when he was in the White House. Here's the details of who was in that. If it was the East Wing, you guys please correct me if I've got that wrong, but in his presidential residence during the January 6th committee. And then it knights up here to, okay, that's not going to go down well for him. And it's going to be seen who paid to help fund all of the, the travel arrangements into the insurrection. Whoever those bonds were in his life, and they're not going to like getting their subpoenas. Yeah. Right. And he's expecting. This card knights up here to those documents, the charges that come through, that's going to really drastically change. It's going to alter his life in a way that he definitely doesn't want. So, okay, but anyway, so yeah, all of that because of those, the decrees that come down, and it's also going to affect his, his sons, Don Jr. and Eric. And Ivanka has her own problems. She didn't come through in this reading, but that's okay. She's come through in so many, and I'm going to be reading on her next. So it makes sense to me why she didn't come through. But I'm sure she knew. I'm thinking she knew everything that was going on. Otherwise, why did the committee want her to come in, right? But yeah, and then this could be, who knows? It's very possible that this is even a divorce filing coming in, papers being served, because Melania's got control over something right here, and she's had it. She's tired. Can you imagine what he's been like to be with? She probably has a feeling she's been dealing with an adult baby, an adult infant that has to wear Depends. But you can't put anybody down for that if you're older and you have those problems. But with him and all his drug use and the things that he's done, I don't have any sympathy for him at all. He's getting everything that he deserves. So, okay. I'm looking to see if there's anything else. I'm feeling pretty complete. Yeah, I'm done. Okay. Thanks, you guys. Again, high five if you made it to the end. Take good care. Bye.